Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's Carlisa here. With the start of fall, I always feel inspired to make my home feel warmer, cozier, and really embrace the season changes. So in today's video, I'm refreshing and decorating my living room for the new season, and my goal is to make the space feel inviting, extra cozy, and grounded with those warm, earthy tones that truly capture the spirit of autumn. For that, I will be sharing with you some DIYs, adding new and old fall decor, and doing some changes to my living space. And the first update I made was layering in 2 new Edo racks. I wanted a layered look effect for an extra cozy feeling, helping to fully ground the space. So I chose this woven jute rack that I found on Amazon, and I truly love that organic look. So I was looking for a warmer tone Edo rack, so in order to make contrast against our dark hardwood floor, I decided to keep it as the first layer. For the second Edo rack, I originally tried one from the Loloy's new men collection, and the pictures looked warmer, but I unrolled it and it just didn't quite capture the warm earthy feeling that I was going for. So I switched it out for a rack from Loloy's Louisa collection, and it ended up being perfect. It has that light, airy feel, but with a medium and subtle earthy taupe brown color that make the whole room feel grounded, cozier, and inviting. Exactly the kind of atmosphere I wanted and I was looking for. Another change that I recently did was upgrading my coffee table. I found this solid wood piece on wafer and I immediately loved it. Not only loved the medium warm wood tones, but what really sold me is that it has casters, which make it very practical and convenient to me having kids. I decided to change the orientation to better align with the space and create more symmetry in the room. It's a subtle change, but it really makes the layout feel more balanced. I've tried both ways so far, and I prefer this way. It helps the whole living room flow together nicely, but sometimes I would just want to place it differently. Another element that really transforms any living room is the drapes. They are not just decorative, they create a substantial layering effect that softens the space and makes it feel instantly warmer and cozier. For me, these drapes are one of those finishing touches that elevate a room, adding depth with their linen texture and making the space feel complete. So for this season, I wanted to introduce an extra layer of the same drapes in this pretty and warm sand color. We recently moved my little swan's desk to a new spot that used to be in this corner, and I wanted to fill the space, so using what I already had on hand, I brought in this tall side table that we'll be styling later. Now it's time to style our counter spaces and shelves, and I have a few DIYs to help incorporate each piece into my decor. I'm starting with this lamp, which used to sit on my entryway table. I love the face shape, but not so much the color. So I wanted to give it an old rustic look similar to the Valencia table lamp from Magnolia, with a warm and bold texture, but lighter for this case. To achieve this, I'm using decorative wax and a paper towel to create texture. I grab a bit of wax by rubbing the paper towel, and then I just dab it directly onto the lamp's face, using the paper towel's pattern to print subtle texture. I'm doing it as many times I need depending on how dark or light I want to go. This is a very easy way to change the look of this lamp for a more vintagey antique look without spending a lot of time or money. I ended up loving the result, and just in case I get tired of this look, I can perfectly wash it off by scrubbing it with water and soap. The next piece I wanted to quickly DIY is this paper mache bowl. I originally bought it for my spring decor and it worked well, but now I wanted to give it a warmer look and add more depth. The beige color is quite plain for what I need now, so I'm aiming to transform it to look like a beautifully aged vintage piece. I did exactly the same process that I did to DIY the lamp, and I ended up loving the result as well. For the next quick DIY, I printed out these pictures and I'm starting with this beautiful autumn landscape, but I wanted to recreate an oil painting to create that texture and look. I'm using Mod Podge glue, and by using an old cheap painting brush, I'm just giving some touches, dabbing onto the area I want to stand out and create more texture. I wanted to mimic the texture of the tree's foliage, and right after finishing the process, I just let it dry for an hour. I found this beautiful vintage style framed picture at Marshall's and I love the frame, but I needed to remove the back to take out the glass, so I ended up breaking the glass in the process, but honestly I actually prefer it without the glass, so the texture we created with the Mod Podge can be really appreciated. To secure the picture to the inner mat, I simply added a few small drops of hot glue and it holds up perfectly well. I love the result and the vintagey look of this wall art. I printed out one more picture of an autumn landscape and I wanted to give it some texture as well, using the same process as before. This one won't be as detailed as the previous piece, but the subtle texture will still add depth and handcrafted feel. I love how this simple technique can instantly transform a flat print into something that feels like an authentic oil canvas painting. And now we can start styling, and I'm starting with this counter space where I'm bringing in my new table lamp, quote unquote. The outlet is inside the cabinet, so to eventually help to hide the cord, I'm leaning some books to the lamp, matching with the colors of the lamp. I really love the result using that decor wax, and this is definitely something that I was envisioning for this lamp. Next, I'm bringing this charming curvy faux rattan vase that I got from Walmart, and I'm adding in these gorgeous fall ranunculus stems. The rich brownish red and rust color, it's bringing such a warm and autumnal look. I printed out these fall flowers pictures that I got from Etsy, and I'm just adding it in a frame that I got last year from HomeGoods. To elevate the look of the next work art, I'm adding this easel that will help to create visual height and also dynamic to this group in decor. To add that seasonal touch, I placed a small glass pumpkin over a battery-operated faux candle. The soft, flickering light underneath creates a warm glow, highlighting the pumpkin's texture and instantly adding a magical autumnal vibe to the space. It's an easy way to bring a little warmth and charm without any real flames. I got this glass pumpkin from Target, and remember that I will be leaving all the links I can in my description. For the middle shelf, I'm adding this framed artwork with a moody landscape scene. To layer in some interest and height, I'm adding these coffee books, and I'm bringing back my favorite pumpkin pumpkins I DIY'd last year, and I painted them with a warm earthy neutral colors, and I just love how well they get incorporated to my decor. Next, just a wooden antique tray that I got from Lux Pico, and I added a tall pillar candle in a rust orangey red to tie in with the other pops of colors I have used in the lower shelf. Next, I have this small greenery arrangement, but I wanted to use the pot this coming with. To remove it, I poured boiling water and it came off right away. I just had to apply a little pressure to pull it out completely, and I wanted to add some of these faux dry hydrangeas I picked up last year from Hobby Lobby and make a low profile fall arrangement to place on the upper shelf. Coming back to the shelves, I'm just adding some books, and next to them I'm placing the fall floral arrangement that I just made. And at the other side, I'm adding this low woven seagrass basket, and I got this storage baskets in a set of 2 from Amazon last year. For the other side, I'm filling this corner with this gorgeous handsome crackle vase that I found at Magnolia's, and I immediately envisioned that paired with these beautiful faux grape ivy stems that I picked up last year from A Floral. Then I layered it with this wall art, and I'm using one of the pictures that I DIY'd previously. I'm bringing this vintage marble plate, and I'm topping with this twisted ceramic candle that I found at Marshall's. I'm bringing in a few more books to add height and layering, and on top I'm placing this faux aged pumpkin in a beautiful rust orange tone that I found at HomeGoods. To bring in that cozy seasonal glow, I'm adding these iron tapper candle holders with light brown tapper candles, and the warm tones and soft lighting helps to create that cozy ambience for fall. And next, on the middle shelf, I'm placing the wall art that I DIY'd previously, and then I'm adding this small autumn framed artwork that I got last year from Target. And next, I'm adding this romantic vintage style iron tapper candle holder. This is available at Hobby Lobby, and I'm topping with this twisted candle that I got from Target. And next, I'm bringing the small handsome crackle vase from Magnolia, and I added a lot of baby breath in brown color. I got the baby breath at Hobby Lobby, and I'm cleaning my favorite vintage books I love to style everywhere. And next, I added this pair of dry marteling gourds to recreate that old world autumnal look. On the upper shelf, I'm placing my paper mache bowl that I DIY'd and my favorite scallop hanging bells that I got from Magnolia last year, and I absolutely love them, and I love the fact that I not only can use them for the holidays but are perfect for year-round decor. Now, moving on to the sofas, I'm adding my favorite dark brown knit throw blanket that I got from Target, I believe 2 years ago, and I love the extra coziness and warm contrast it's adding to our white sofas. Now, to continue dressing up our sofas, I'm adding new pillow covers, and I found this beautiful vintage inspired block print pillow cover, and I will be leaving the link for all these throw pillow covers in my description. I got this adorable pumpkin pillow 2 years ago from Hobby Lobby. At the other side, I'm adding this brown striped pillow cover that I got from Amazon, but it's also available on Etsy. And then I found this beautiful pillow cover from Loloi featuring a subtle gridded pattern perfect for fall, Christmas, or the winter long. This will add such a beautiful contrast against the striped pillow cover and tying in with the rest of colors going on. Next, on our condo sofa, I'm bringing this throw pillow that I found a few days ago in one of my trips to HomeGoods to find fall decor. And I'm adding this pretty throw blanket that I got from the recent Heart and Hand Fall collection, and I love it's very warm and cozy. And then this throw pillow cover that I got from Amazon, and I showed you in my fall decor haul. And next, let's move on to style our coffee table, and I'm bringing one of my favorite recent vintage purchases, and it's this vintage wine rice vessel that I got from Etsy, and I added 3 of these orange serum stems that I got at Target from the Heart and Hand fall collection, and I think 3 are enough for that wispy look. The color of this book is absolutely gorgeous, and on top of it I added this pretty glass pumpkin shaped candle that I found at HomeGoods. If you ever come across it, the scent is truly amazing, a warm sweet pumpkin scent that brings all the autumn vibes. I love lighting this candle in the evenings and letting the soft glow and delicious fragrance fill the room. Next, just a little woven basket for an organic look, and right below, like playing around with the shape of the table, I'm adding this glass clutch matches I got at Target, and then this charming vintage inspired candle snuffer, and I think it's no longer available, but I will be leaving some similar in my description. Now it's time for a cozy moment, lighting this candle to fill this room with its autumn scent. For our side table, I'm bringing in this Chinese Miyu jar, one of my favorite vintage pieces. To complement it, I'm adding a single burgundy green leaf stem, and it fills the corner beautifully. I found this adorable glass acorn shaped candle at Marshall's, perfect for a subtle autumnal touch for this little space. I hadn't planned on adding a garland and originally thought I will keep the mantel bare, but against the rest of the decor it just felt too plain. At the last minute I decided to bring in my favorite Simi-Si-Fuga garland. Its rich, moody color adds such a warm hug of contrast, adding the perfect touch of elegance while keeping with the moody seasonal vibes. I just added a single piece to not overdo this area since there's already a lot of decor going on. From the soft rust and amber tones to the subtle flicker of candles that fill the room with a gentle glow, each detail has been carefully chosen to capture the sense of autumn. Decorating for fall is more than just styling a room, it's about creating a space that celebrates the simple joys of the season. And that's the finished look of my fall living room. I hope this gave you some inspiration and ideas for your own home. Thank you so much for spending this time with me decorating, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!